Hello everybody, it's the Lawn Gnome, and I must be out of my mind for doing this. I am in terrible shape. I am sick as a dog, but you know something? If you can go to work on a daily basis with a monster cold in your body, you can easily make a YouTube video. So I apologize for the way that I look, I apologize for the way that I sound, and I apologize for everything else that you're about to witness. I am doing a video response to the lovely Robin176. A new tag is going around, and it's called the I Love Movies tag. So, gee, how could I not do this one? So, there are 15 questions, and I am going to answer these questions as best as I possibly can, with a couple of little tidbits thrown in here and there. So, let's begin. The first question is, what is your favorite movie of all time? Well, I may have said that Zero Dark 30 may have taken the #1 spot, but you know something? It isn't. Back to the Future is still my all-time favorite movie, and I will put a link to the 10 movies that changed my life, because I don't need to review why I love Back to the Future so much. It's all in there. So, let's just put it this way. If you don't like Back to the Future, there's something seriously wrong with you. What is my favorite scene from that movie? Well, it's not one of the most popular scenes. As a matter of fact, there's also going to be a shout-out to my good friend, the Notorious Mr. Beagle, who has his channel on YouTube, MermelMadness. One time, myself and him and a few of our friends and siblings, we went to watch all 3 Back to the Future movies. Now, Mr. Beagle's father has a patented line where he yells out, "What's the meaning of this?" In the first Back to the Future movie, when Christopher Lloyd's character pulls out the letter that Marty wrote for him to warn him about what was going to happen to him in the future, he yells out, "What's the meaning of this?" When we all in that one room watched Christopher Lloyd yell that out, we had to pause the movie because we were laughing so hard. We couldn't contain ourselves, and his father was even in the room, and he was completely off the chair clutching his sides because it was so funny. So that's why it's my favorite scene from that whole movie. It's just the memories. The next question, which is number 3, is who is your favorite actor or actress? Well, of all time, my favorite actor would have to be Mark Hamill. Not because of the fact that he did the Star Wars trilogy, but because of the fact that he brought new life to the Joker in Batman the Animated Series, and he was basically the pioneer that finally got the world of film and the world of television to realize this is the way the Joker is supposed to be. And it's because of that that the Joker has been created in the personas of John DiMaggio from Batman Under the Red Hood, and of course Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight. So he really set the bar for this character and really broke out of the Star Wars persona of Luke Skywalker. Now, why he plans on going back to 7, 8, and 9, who knows, but that's another story for another time. My favorite actress is Sally Field, and she was phenomenal in Lincoln, but even though she has done so many great films, to me she will always be Miranda Hillard from Mrs. Doubtfire. I love Sally Field in that movie. Question number 4 is, who do you feel is the most annoying actor or actress? Well, that's simple. For actor, it's definitely Zach Galifianakis. I mentioned when I reviewed The Hangover Part 2 that I never understood his comedy, I don't like his hobo beard, and I don't like his whole ignorant, dumb-as-a-brick man-child routine. This guy scares the living bejesus out of me. I don't know why people find him funny, but hey, you want to leave a video response and defend this guy? Go right ahead. I have no issues with that. And the actress that I can't stand the most is, without a doubt, Kristen Stewart. When I saw her presenting with, out of all people, Daniel Radcliffe, who has really shined post-Harry Potter. If you've seen The Woman in Black, and if you plan on seeing Kill Your Darlings, you see this guy next to Kristen Stewart? The night is frickin' ruined, man! I'm sorry. She's terrible. Who is my favorite director? It would have to be Edgar Wright. While the Spielbergs of the world and the Scorseses of the world and the Burtons of the world are great, Edgar Wright has yet to disappoint me. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and coming this year, At World's End. I mean, this guy is fresh, he's brash, he's in your face, he's out there, he's funny. And I still have yet to be truly disappointed by this comedic, creative genius that he is. And now that I found out that he's going to be joining the whole Marvel universe and directing and writing the script of Ant-Man, I am thrilled to know that he took on that task. What is your guilty pleasure? Well, I don't know if I would want to talk about a chick flick, because I was thinking about maybe doing He's Just Not That Into You, because I actually do enjoy that movie, but I would rather talk about a movie that I own, so yeah, I have it right here in front of me. I know, it's a terrible movie, but it's the best movie out there that is based on a video game. Maybe besides Resident Evil, but this movie is as cheesy and as horrible as it is. I just remember when this movie came out in theaters, after seeing the monstrosity that Street Fighter was, it was so awesome, so enjoyable, the music is great, and it just brings your video game world to the big screen based on the story that the video game was about, and it worked. And I've been following the Mortal Kombat Legacy Machinima stuff on YouTube, and they're great too. My favorite tearjerker, I don't know if you mean like something that just makes you shed a tear, or something that just makes you bawl like a little girl with a skinned knee, so I'm just gonna say the anime classic Grave of the Fireflies, the Isao Takahata film. Grave of the Fireflies has been known as one of the greatest movies ever made, period. And that's actually quoted by Roger Ebert from way back in the day. It is a beautiful depiction of a survival tale of two siblings in post-World War II Japan. And if you haven't seen this movie, you don't even need to be an anime fan to appreciate a movie like Grave of the Fireflies. All that I suggest is that you have a box of tissues handy, because you will cry. We're up to question number 8. Name an actor that scared you. Gary Oldman in the Bram Stoker's Dracula film directed by Francis Ford Coppola. This is like no slasher film. This movie is one colossal mindfuck, and it is creepy. It's not the slasher film, it's not the jump scare that terrifies me, it's the screwing with the head, and Francis Ford Coppola's film just gave me nightmares. It is one of the scariest, creepiest depictions of Dracula you will ever see, and Gary Oldman, who was unknown at the time, played the role of the Dark Prince perfectly. You have to see it if you haven't. If you don't want nightmares, then maybe you shouldn't. Question number 9 is, give us a movie that you like that everybody hates. Green Lantern. A lot of people knock that movie to high heaven. I personally have no issues with it. I am the proud owner of that movie as well. I love the Green Lantern story, and I feel that that movie, while it wasn't great, there's much room for improvement. They really gave us a good depiction of Green Lantern, especially one that the comic book fans could enjoy. They got the whole concept of the Guardians and Oa and the other Green Lanterns in the story. Like I said, it's not perfect. It's a little weak, and Blake Lively was terrible in that movie, and Ryan Reynolds could have been better, but the movie is by no means dreadful, because I've seen Dreadful, and I like it. Name a movie that I hate that everybody loves. Tim Burton's Batman. I am a Batman purist, and I feel that that is the worst depiction of Batman. I am a Tim Burton follower, and I love his work. But this movie, no. Do I think it's a bad movie? Absolutely not. It's very well acted. But as someone who knows what Batman is, who knows the persona, who knows the lore, I just feel that the movie was miscast. Batman, or Bruce Wayne, should never have been played by Michael Keaton, because Batman is not 5'something and skinny as a twig. The Joker, while Jack Nicholson played him well, he's not suave, he's not smooth. He's a skin and bones, lanky psychopath. I'm sorry. Question number 11 is, who is your favorite movie duo? I believe that Robin176 said it perfectly. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Those two guys are great together. Even when Edgar Wright is not working with them. When they were in Paul together, that was a fantastic, very underappreciated film. And even when they are by themselves, Simon Pegg is great in Star Trek. Nick Frost is fantastic in Pirate Radio and Attack the Block. They are just two brilliant comedic minds. They're great separately, but they're even better when they're together. Favorite animated film? Jetsons the movie. It's not the perfect animated film, but I've watched that movie to no end. I will never stop watching it. It took a long time for that movie to finally get released on DVD, and when it did, I was the first in line. And the best part was, this is a true story, when I actually did purchase that movie, the cashier looked at it and just gave me a stare and went, nice. Number 13, actor or actress that I have a crush on. Well, obviously I'm going to go with actress, and that's Olivia Wilde. I mean, why should I even give a reason? She's gorgeous. Number 14, who is my favorite movie villain? That was a very big challenge for me because I really couldn't figure it out, because did I want to go with a comic book movie villain? Wasn't really sure. If I wanted to go with a character like Darth Vader, I wasn't sure, but then I realized who my favorite movie villain is. Jeffrey Jones as Ed Rooney in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He's just the perfect villain in a teen comedy. He is funny, but at the same time, while he's doing all these funny things, he never loses that stern face of a principal. And that's like every child's fantasy, to see the principal fall over, get hurt, have the worst day of his life because he's just trying to catch the best kid in school. The final question is a movie that surprised you. Again, another challenge for me, because I had so many movies that really surprised me, but one of the biggest surprises for me was John Turteltaub's National Treasure. I heard that it was coming out. I really wasn't interested in it, and I'm really not the biggest Nick Cage fan, but it took me a while. I had to actually see it on DVD because a friend of mine was saying to me, "Oh, you have to see this movie." I loved it. I thought that it was a very entertaining, fun movie, and that's what seeing the movies is all about. So that's it, 15 questions, and now it's time for me to give a couple of shout-outs to some people that I'd like to see do this tag in response. I'd like to shout out to two of my favorite female critics out there, The Movie Doll and Adriana Flo, especially considering the fact that you are both big fans of the artsy, while The Movie Doll is a little bit more towards the blockbuster as well as the artsy. I really feel that you two would probably give some of the most original answers that this survey gives, so I want to hear them, and I love a video response. Another two people that I would like to shout out to see do this survey is my good friend 55 Ginger Ninja. I'm sure she'd love to do this. And I want Mr. Beagle to do this too. I know that he's been hell-bent on just doing a vlog, but again, he is one of my best friends. And he's got similar taste to me, but at the same time, he's got some very interesting film taste. And I really want to see if he could bring that to the front and maybe just throw out some answers that no one would ever really consider or even look at. And the best part is, it may get a couple of people to look at these movies. So that's it for everybody. Thank you very much for watching, and at this point in time, I'm just hoping to get to a speedy recovery, finally get back to the theaters and see some current movies, because I haven't been there since the beginning of February, and I'll catch you later with some more videos in March, and actions speak louder than words.